Hello, teachers. This is Ricardo,
And this is Teresa.
and we are super excited to share some news about our friend, the Feelings Monster. As you know, Feelings Monster has been available for a while, and we've been able to access Feelings Monsters and use Reflect, which is a well-being app to support our students when it comes to social and emotional learning. And we've been actually accessing it via Canvas by rostering our teams and going to teams and accessing Reflect through there. But guess what? You do not have to do that anymore. As of today, you actually have the ability to access Microsoft Reflect inside of your Canvas courses. Okay, so we are super excited. By default, Microsoft Reflect is going to show up on your course navigation. By default, it might be at the bottom. So if you don't see it on your course navigation, just go to Settings. Okay, if it's not at the bottom, make sure you go to Navigation and make sure that it's not hidden. Okay, so if it's hidden, just bring it all the way up. I actually put it all the way to the top and make sure you save. Okay, and once you do that, it's going to be right there for you. So now, yes, it is still available in Teams, but now you can actually do your check-ins with Reflect and the Feelings Monster inside of Canvas. Just to show you from a teacher's point of view, this is what it's going to look like. So if I wanted to do a new check-in, and Teresa is going to be our student today, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do a new check-in. And notice that you have a lot of options, okay? If you're just checking on how they're feeling today, you can just go by default with the first one. If you're maybe checking about at the end of the week, how the week felt for them, you can click on that one. And you also have the ability to be more specific, okay? Maybe I wanted to check about how they're feeling about the test that they're taking today, okay? Or maybe if I wanted to get some ideas, check-in ideas, I can click here and notice that you get check-in ideas for student well-being, general, social, instructional, and environmental and end of learning cycles. So you have a lot of options right there, okay? Not only that, but remember that us teachers also use Canvas with other educators. So you have the ability to check in with educators and there are some great options here that we can use
Cool.
with the educators too, okay? So not just for our students, but also for us, okay? But I'm just going to create one about how are you feeling about our quiz tomorrow. I'm going to give this check-in to Teresa, and I can preview it if I want to. And also I wanted to make sure you knew there's some settings here that I'm going to click on, because maybe I want to make sure that this is open for longer than 8 hours, maybe for 24 hours or for a week, or no time limit, or maybe just for 15 minutes at the beginning of class, okay? As you're checking with the students, completely up to you, okay? And also, as I think about our students, maybe for the older ones, our high school, middle school kids, maybe I want to keep the broad emotional vocabulary, okay? But maybe for the little ones, as they're learning to express those feelings, I might want to use simplify emotional vocabulary. I know Teresa's going to have something to say about this. For today, I'm going to leave it as broad, and I'm going to go ahead and record name. By default, I will record name because I'm the only one that gets to see it. And if you wanted to share the together view with our students, the names are not there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it all like it is in there, and I'm going to create the check-in, okay? As I create the check-in, it just tells me that it's been created. And now we're going to share Teresa's screen as a student and what she sees.
All right, so this is my screen right now, and I'm going to go ahead and reload it because Ricardo just assigned me something. Sometimes it takes a little while for it to load, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. But as we're waiting, just to recall, we use this tool all the time. Oh, here, it was super fast. And we have had so much great feedback from teachers who are using it inside of Teams, but now they're going to be even more thrilled that it's so much easier to access straight here in Canvas. So here it is. I can right away see what Ricardo asked me. How are you feeling about our quiz today? And you can see over here on the right, if he asked me different things that I didn't answer yet, I can click on that and see what else he asked me. Overall, how did this week feel for you? How are you feeling today? So I can answer them. Whichever ones I want to, I'll do this one because this is the latest one. And so our students simply just look, it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you're just starting and you've never shown your kids how to use this, I mean, they pick on the one they feel, right? So let's say I'm feeling like this because maybe I'm hungry. So I'm going to click on that. Very simplified, right? And then from here, it brings us to that emotional vocabulary. And so Ricardo choose the regular one, so I could just go ahead and hover over it. And then it shows me it. And if your students have difficulty reading, you could tell by the expression on the feelings monster right here, kind of. And if the children relate to that feeling, they can just select it. If you chose the other option for younger students, they won't have as many choices, and they choose vocabulary that's more appropriate for their age level. So if you're wondering, like, how do I use this with kinder? It does work for them to just make sure you change your setting. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on one right now. I don't see hungry in here, so my next feeling right here is tired. So I'm going to click on that. And then it says needing rest. I can also listen.
Tired. Needing a rest.
So if you notice, not only did it read it for me, it also read it in a way that matches what the emotion is. So I'm going to click
Tired. Needing a rest.
I love this one.
Annoyed. Irritated by something.
So you can tell by the emotion that whoever is speaking is actually feeling this emotion. So that's kind of a great conversation to have with the kids. So I'm just going to pick one.
Tired.
Yes.
Needing a rest.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and submit. And then it's brave to share. Thank you all. So Ricardo's going to show you in a little bit how that looks like on his end whenever I submit something in here. But before we do that, Ricardo, is it okay if I talk about these things here?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so you can assign things to your students, but your students have the freedom to go ahead and find resources to help them, kind of feel better, or to kind of help them relax, or whatever they need to focus. So we have meditate, we have move, play, music. Down here is just another way to kind of see the same thing. Take a breath, stretch break, coloring book, and if you go over, you have memory game. So your students can click directly onto these cards down here, or they can click on these up here. And if you click on these, it brings you straight to a collection. So here I am in meditate, and you can see all of these different things that your students can do. We have seen teachers do this whole group maybe after coming back from recess. They put this on their screen, they click on it, and the whole class kind of takes time to relax and to regroup before they start their lesson. And these are all from Calm. Very amazing that we have access to these things. Your mindful body. Some of these are new to me too, Ricardo. I haven't seen some of these before. This is pretty awesome. So it would be great to a whole other episode to go through all of these reflective moments. A lot of different resources here. You have your move also. So you could stretch, you could do things working through wiggles. Maybe they have too much energy and you want them to kind of calm down and focus, or maybe you need to wake them up because they look like they're about to fall asleep. So let's dance, stretch break. And one time, Ricardo, I'm going to click on one of these when we're recording, okay? Mm-hmm. So you could actually do it. Okay, you can also, we have play, coloring book, memory game. I'm just going to click on one so you see what it is. This is one of my favorite things.
I love
it.
The
kids can click on any of them. And I am not the best at coloring. But if your kids feel like, oh, I don't want to color, but look at this, so easy. They just click on a color and it just simply colors it. It's very relaxing. And I could probably do this for a really long time right now, but I won't. So I can start over, change picture, I'm done. And then you can kind of stop and bring you back. You have the memory game too. I'm not going to show you my awesome skills at memory. But lots of different things. Music as well. So just great resources for the kids that are already here. You don't have to purchase anything new. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's already here inside of Canvas. Is there anything I'm missing here, Ricardo, that you wanted me to go over?
No, I think you got it all. And I think you said it best. You do not have to leave Canvas anymore, right? So you are right in there. Awesome. So when I come in and I go in as a teacher, notice that it looks a little bit different from the student point of view. So I noticed that some answers have been given from my students already. Before I click to see the results, notice that if I hover over it, I can actually go straight to the response distribution, but I can also reuse the question again, okay? So I don't have to be recreating it from new check-in. I can just reuse it, and I can forward this if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna go inside of it, and notice that I can see together view, okay? So think about 20 students and showing you how they're feeling. You automatically get an idea of how the class is doing that day based on that check-in that you gave, right? If I kind of hover over it, I can see actually who said it, and Teresa said that she was angry for this particular one, but notice her previous responses too. Tired, right? So I can kind of have an idea how she's been answering these check-ins for me. Very, very important to see, okay? So again, if I go up here, again, I can hide the names, which they're hidden actually. Now, if I hover over it, they will not show names, okay? So I will do that with your students if you're sharing this to the class, okay? Over here, I can go ahead and share if I want to. And also I can do the response distribution, copy and view, and save as an image. If I wanted to save it as an image, very, very important. Teresa talked about, let me go back. Teresa talked about some of the tools that you have in here. As a teacher, you have class activities. Maybe you don't want the kids to do them individually, but as a class activity, I can go into the brain library breaks. It's going to look very similar. And maybe project them, right? And put them on my screen to be able to use them, right? You also have the ability to just take a break, as Teresa showed, do a stretch break. And finally, at the bottom here, you have an educator toolkit that gives you a lot of knowledge about Reflect and how to use it, okay? So you can take the digital course, the teacher guide is in here, you can download a presentation, and there's the emotion board. If you wanted to print this out and put it in your classroom and use it as a traditional form of check-in, you can do that too. But we are so excited that now we have Reflect, Microsoft Reflect, and our Feelings Monsters inside of Canvas. So this is available for you now, and we are looking forward to seeing how you are going to use it. Anything else that I missed, Teresa?
I think there's something that I missed. You showed teachers how to access using the Microsoft Reflect little tab on the side. So for students, they go in the same way. I forgot to mention that. So when your kids are ready, they too will go over here in the course navigation and click on Microsoft Reflect, and it will bring them straight to this page.
Great point. Same experience from teacher and for students, how they access it right now. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.